Hello everyone. Today is January 21st, 2017. I'm so happy to be with all of you today. Thank you so much for participating. And me and Ron want to thank everybody who donated for our new software. We are very excited about that. Just want to tell you also that new messages came in from the 11 dimensional beings, including the Council of Nine, like a one unit. Because the Council of Nine actually was the one consciousnesses that introduced me to the 11 dimensional beings. That's how it works, but they kind of link through realities. And they told me that the 11 dimensional beings told me that in the next 20 days, from the 19 to the next 20 days, will be every day they're gonna send messages. So please watch the messages on YouTube or on Facebook. Matt McElroy from the Galactic Federation of Light is posting a lot. Also, I have another friend, Joe, that is posting everything on Facebook and YouTube. I think it's fundamental to listen to them the way they come in, because I think is increasing by frequency and by knowledge. Because when we started, it was about connection of new parallel realities. This was the 19. Yesterday, they were congratulating Donald Trump, and they were talking that we shifted to reality that is a positive outcome. They did not give a particular opinion of the two candidates that they were, for example, Mrs. Clinton or Trump before he became president, because they didn't want to be biased, and they never been like that. But they let us know through the message of yesterday, which is the 20th, that we moved in and shifted to completely a positive timeline. Whoever end up going into this timeline is intergalactic. So they also said there's going to be a lot of changes, but this is just part of the process, and not to put a negative thoughts into it, no matter what you see. So please listen to these messages. Today the message was very interesting to me, because they were talking, I always knew that they're talking about connecting telepathically, the way, for example, I do telepathically, which I was actually taught how to do it. I was put in a spot, as I said, through my webinars, and the thought is coming directly before you start thinking. But now, through my webinars and through everything that I end up posting, I talk a lot about the structure of the quantum field, how it's made, how you are to interconnect with all the particles, what are the frequencies, how you interject from one reality, how you pull in from one parallel reality to another through the frequencies, how you find in the proper resonance and you tune in with the proper parallel realities. This is exactly why it was so fundamental to learn the metaphysical structure of our existence and how we made. So when you learning now the new stuff, how to connect telepathically, it's fundamental to know that structure. It becomes very clear, and you're not getting confused. How is this possible? Because our body is a complete vessel of energetic sequence, they said, and through that vessel you interject into the different reality with the proper resonance that you're projecting from your consciousness. By the way, I'm channeling directly, so it's simultaneous. I have open eyes, but it's okay for me right now. If I have to close my eyes, I will close my eyes. But that will be more complex for me at the moment. So what they're saying also, that all these realities are simultaneously running. And today they were explaining for the fact that since our body is practically made from the structure and lower the frequency to become a matter, which of course we know is an illusion, in our understanding, when we start perceiving, you don't need basically like a phone or some kind of a device in order for you to connect with different realities, different consciousnesses. What we need to do is to simply tune in into the proper vibrational sequence of your thoughts, and to measure that with the other reality, and becomes like a telephone, like a telepathic connection. And I will explain that perhaps. Ron, could you be so kind to post that message so we can read it and we can go through everything, and then please have your questions, because I'm sure it's going to be a lot of answers for that.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now, or try. And let's see. Whoop. Okay, can you see it? Marina?
I can see it now.
Okay.
Can you give me the control?
Yeah, let me go back to there. Let's see. I think that that's going to give you control. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. So you're a presenter now. So you should... Well, actually, as a presenter, you can usually present from your computer. But I don't know. Can you... Go ahead. Can you see if you can actually do anything with it?
I cannot roll it down in this moment. Last time it worked.
That was with Bogdan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Guys, give us a chance just so we can put that on.
Huh. Well, I'm not sure how we did that. Because the only choice it's given me is to make you a presenter. Well, what do you need to do, Marina? As you talk, I can just kind of scroll through it.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do then.
Just
Okay,
kind of, yeah, kind of guide me through it, and we'll do it that way.
Okay, because last time you did it.
Yeah, I not sure how I did that. That was the first time I ever did it, actually, and I can't figure out where the function is for that.
Can you post it then?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is the message. Hello, dear friends, we're the Council of Nine. Ron, could you please mute? Hello, dear friends, we're the Council of Nine and the 11-dimensional beings, one unit. Your Galactic Family is here. Ron, I can hear you. I don't see the presentation. I'm going to start reading from the side here. Hello, dear friends. We're the Council of Nine and the 11-dimensional beings, one unit. Your Galactic Family is here. You must know that through these messages you will perceive a code to open your synapses of your frequency molecular structure. What they meant by that was basically at the moment you start reading these messages and at the moment you start connecting with all that, there will be a direct connection of a sequences that it will penetrate through your structure in order for you to open up towards contact with them. So basically they're finding your frequency of your molecular structure of your thoughts and connecting with it and open it with the new sequences. So they say, we know every one of you and we contribute to all of you now simultaneously. And that is simultaneously. And why is that? Because all the realities are running simultaneously. All the parallel realities are running simultaneously. And if they're running simultaneously, that means that every probability of your thoughts back and forth, they can see as a holographic imprint, almost like an image of it. And if they see that image of it, that means that they can decide that which one they can connect with you. That's how it works. So now from now on, all of you, okay. They said that what we can see is a certain quantum geometric imprint, but the geometric imprint has a vibration of angular sequence of mathematical equation. This may sound complex to you, but the way it works with us, it's simply at the moment we decide to connect with you, we look into your holographic picture frame imprint, and we simply know the sequence simultaneously. At that moment, we need to know it. You need to know that it pops up in your consciousness like it was always there, like an image, vibration, sequence, and energy. And it's all at once. We do not need to, they basically what they said that they don't, when they see this image, it pops up like a hologram and is like energetic, like almost like a life consciousness. And the way they show me, it's almost like white, blue, energetic field, like a screen in front of it. But you can see it as a literally like a piece of paper, or you can at the moment you focus your thought into it, it becomes like a three-dimensional hologram. And actually they say to me now that that's how you can interject into another reality also, and you can be a part of it, which I guess this is small in control. Because they said our bodies and your bodies are simply pure in essence of energetic intelligence. But we operate and exist in a high vibrational sequence of realities, and that is why it's so easy for us to extract the information that is needed from the quantum matrix, because it's always there. Do not forget that in a quantum structure that we're made from, and everything is simultaneously running. That means that all probabilities of realities are running at the same time, and we know all at the same time. Thank you, Ron. So it's pretty simple. We need to understand that once you learn to open your mind and understanding for this knowledge, know that if you have a question, the answer to that question will simply pop up in your thoughts right away. The answer is right away there, because in that moment, extract the answer from particular sequence code out of the infinity parallel reality matrix. So if we have to break this down, it's almost like when you have to call somebody by a phone, you have to punch particular numbers in order to connect with that person, because that particular number is answering to particular frequency of that person that you're trying to connect. What they're simply saying that it has to be a material stuff from a matter, but your thought has that particular code of numbers, geometric pattern and sequences, and when you put it out to a particular consciousness you want to talk to, your galactic family you want to talk, at the moment you do that, it's literally going to connect, and you're sending a telepathic phone call to a reality of your image that you're projecting. But that image, don't forget, that is going to be mimicking your emotions and your thoughts. That is the reason why some people perceiving in their reality, for example, that they have a negative connection with somebody, because you have to think what are your agreements, and you have to think what were you doing to others, and what were you thinking. Were you thinking negative or positive? Are you in fear, or you are being very mean to everybody else? Because if this is how you act, and this is how you behave, and this is how you treat others, and this is how you think, this is exactly what your thoughts your telepathic phone call is imprinting in a structure. And when you want to connect with somebody, you're not connecting with higher dimensional consciousness. You're connecting with the consciousnesses that are vibrating in realities that are tuning at the same type of frequency. So don't be surprised why some people have a negative experience, because those two realities simultaneously running, with the one that is with a negative experience from that consciousness and the one with a positive experience. So depending how you act and think, this is exactly the reality you're going to connect to. This is the reason why they're saying that we have to raise our consciousness, we have to know how we behave, and we have to detox, because then you're pure vessel. And when they want to connect with us, will literally be depending on the vibratory rate of synchronicity. And also they told me that they will see your hologram and imprint in front of them. It's almost like you made a telepathic thought and immediately pops out in front of them, for example. They can see simultaneously all the thoughts, and they can decide how to tune in and from which reality to tune in. And if they see that for somebody their thoughts are negative, they are not going to choose to connect with you, because that doesn't mean that if you made a telepathic phone call to another, doesn't mean that the higher consciousness doesn't see your negative thoughts. It sees them, but choose not to connect, because perhaps you as a consciousness are not ready to perceive all the information yet. Because if 1 year ago I start talking to you all about this stuff, you will never understand it, because you didn't go through the lessons that I
Hey Marina, we've lost you, your picture and your sound. Hey you guys, let's hold on 1 minute. Looks like Marina's having some issues. This has happened maybe once before, where her internet Wi-Fi went down. I'm sure, like all of us, have the issue. I know my Wi-Fi goes down, I don't know, a few times a week. So we'll give her a few minutes, and I think she'll be right back. Let's see. I'm going to put this up there to give you guys a chance to read the rest of it. I think Marina finished off here. This is page 3, and then there's one more page. And she's also got a YouTube video with this in it, and it's shared on Facebook in a video format. Oops, sorry about that. I thought that was page 3. I'm actually going to post this. I'm going to copy and paste it to the site here in the messenger. So we can get a conversation going while we wait for Marina.
I'm back, everybody.
All right, there you are.
Sorry, internet completely shut down here. Okay. Did everybody understand the message?
Say that again, Marina. You cut out your microphone.
You have to mute it.
I what?
You have to mute your microphone. Can you hear me now, guys? Okay, if you have any questions, please have your questions so Ron can, ask the questions and I can give you the answers.
So are you finished, Marina, with the Word document? Did you go through the whole thing? I let them read it while you were gone.
Yeah, I'm finished with that. If they have a question towards that, they can ask me. Can you hear me, guys? Do you have any questions? You can just...
Marina, this is Liz. Can
Hi.
you hear me? Hi. Okay,
Hi,
I'm
Liz.
going to start. Hi. So just by thinking about something, we should think, but also imagine it to connect with them.
What they're saying that if you guys remember when I was explaining the quantum structure, I was talking about trinity. And the trinity was your thoughts, your emotions. It's building this plasma and gravitational field. Your thoughts, your emotions, and at the same time you put in the image. So those three have to go simultaneously. But when you put your emotions, the emotion has a very specific numbers of, for example, a frequency.
It creates a frequency.
So when you combine your image, you hold the image and you imagine something. Then you have your emotion. Then put the emotion in, and when you put the emotion in, let that emotion be of happiness and joy, because then you resonate in this type of structure, this type of realities. That's how you put in the phone call. So you're connecting with this type of realities.
Okay.
And then when you take an action with that, you're creating this trinity plasma. And you need to withhold at the same time as a unity this emotion, image, and thoughts. Because when you hold that, it becomes this full, resonance that exactly needs to crystallize. And you have to hold it, and you more and more you do that. And once you raise your frequency of your body, that's when we talk a lot about detox and everything else. It becomes so easy and is not blocked. So because and also at the moment you doubt that you cannot do this properly, oh my God, I just put the image, but I don't hear anything. The reason why I don't hear anything, because at the moment you put a doubt, they said, you're blocking our sequence. You're changing the sequence. And why is that? Because you start calling somebody else completely, or it's like the way I just got off the internet, maybe that was a perfect explanation. I can't even contact you because I can't contact you because the internet has a specific frequency that comes into my house in order to even connect to all of you. So I gotta dial specific frequency in order to get to everybody. So what you're doing by the doubt or negative emotion, you're shutting the frequencies for them to connect. You're blocking them. And sometimes they can penetrate, but they will not attempt to do that because first it has to be through permission. And second, in order for you to do that, maybe you're not ready to perceive this type of consciousness and you will not be allowed. And especially if it's a very high end of consciousness and understanding, you can't even have the image in your head to do anything like that because your conception and your understanding of anything is just very limited. You live in like in a box, and if this is the case, you can't see what is out there. You're just living in your three-dimensional reality, or your and it's so much out there. What I'm trying to do is to tell you that you don't need me, or you don't need somebody else, or you don't need to go to some kind of a field and flash so somebody can come in. You literally are the vessel, and they're trying to teach us so we are the vessel, so we can open up our abilities that we have to basically understand what is happening and to start connecting with them telepathically because we can do it. You don't need a device to talk. When I connect, the way they taught me is to just think about it. I will have the question and it's simultaneously there. And not only this, but that's when I close my eyes and when I talk to you, the information is just floating like I know it. Because what I'm doing is I'm extracting the information of the quantum field, because in that quantum field, remember the bylaw. You can't think of something if it doesn't exist in a structure of the quantum field already. I have to know that vibration first in order for me to even extract it. It's almost like you in a library. I end up making the library and I know when I need information exactly how to reach for that book because I know in that book the information is there. But you have to go to the particular library. If you don't know how to access the library, you're not going to get the information.
Mm-hmm.
And this reality is to infinity. So is that simple? When you look at it closely, is that simple? Literally, you're making telepathic phone call to particular frequency of reality, and they can connect with you. And especially now, at the moment we talk about that, what do you think we're doing? We're talking to them. We're calling them. You know, I'm your vessel at the moment to connect with them. I'm the messenger at this time. But all of you at this moment are doing this. So the goal here is when you make that connection, when you have that thought, when you put that thought, let it be through the positive emotion. Again, have the image. What did they say? Look how we look. What it is. Ask question, why are you looking? Look at the image and at the same time have the emotion, how happy you are to see them. Because that frequency of love and happiness is exactly what open up the structures. Imagine right now if you see your galactic family. You're going to be completely so excited that every single fiber of your body is going to be vibrating. You're going to get goosebumps and tears and a joy. This is the frequency of the vibration they're talking about. Because right now, if I have the extraterrestrials, my family pops out in front of me and we're talking, I'm going to be beyond myself of happiness. Nothing else will matter for me at that moment instead doing that. Right now, they're showing us step by step to connect with us so we can be able and open up the knowledge. And this is little by little how we're connecting with us. So eventually, remember that in order for us to see that reality, we have to crystallize it. But what are we doing right now? We're crystallizing it by talking, by tuning in, by learning the structure and the mechanics, how we can do that. Because you are the vessel. And since we are the vessel, there's certain buttons we have to push in order to tune into the proper frequency. Well, you push it through your thoughts, through your emotion, through your vision, and you have to withhold it moment to moment again so you can crystallize it. And then you take an action to whatever you want to do. Right now, what are we doing? Not only that we're thinking, talking, have the image, because I'm sure right now all of you, if I say imagine your galactic family, you're going to have an image. Well, if you have that image already exists. So they already exist in your reality. What you're doing right now is physically crystallizing it. So the last thing we need to do is physical. These webinars are meant to do that. So we help each other through the process because we're pure vessel of energy. I don't need a device to put in my head in order to connect with them. That's
Okay,
the goal. Because
let me ask you.
have a device to do that, you basically are shutting down your pure knowledge and vessel and depending on something else that is illusion. Why do you need this device that you are a device yourself? You're the perfect being of energy that you can connect telepathically to any type of realities. Of course, if you have a permission to connect or if you're on a level of understanding, this is how they... So they were telling us today how it's possible to connect, what they see, how they see it, and why it's so fundamental for us to do that. The day the webinar is to connect with them. Right now you're connecting with them. But it's going to be step by step. Why? Because we have to learn to withhold their energy until the moment of physical contact. And this physical contact could be crystallized by you day by day tuning into the proper emotions, be positive towards people, be giving. All that is part of the equation. And why is that? Because what did we say? If they vibrate in a higher level of consciousness the way they do, they're not going to want to interact with somebody that will not understand because you will scare the child. We like children. In order this person to have a contact, you have to really combine all this. And we judge a lot by our behavior because we may talk and read about all this knowledge. In the meantime, you can turn around and literally be absolutely disrespectful to somebody else. Well, that right there is a test for you, and they will see that. So if you're very mean, or if you think only about money and how to help people to other people just because of money, or you want the money, money is an illusion. I said that over and over again. So we have to start contributing to each other and helping each other in any way. You have a talent, then you go ahead and help with that expectation. That's what you're looking for, because eventually this monetary system will collapse itself because of the new energy and your connections. You're not going to need it. It's that simple. This is a test right now for everybody. I keep repeating and repeating and repeating because I know how they operate and I know how they test me. And it's always how I acted with other people. Would I help another? I cannot tell you how many people call me out of the blue, and it was like, and I'll sit and talk to the person. I don't know if the person is going to donate to me or not. I'm just there to help. If they donate, I won't reject. It's part of the structure. But if they don't, I put a little flower that I gave them out of my heart, my gift. And that's how I deal with every situation. Okay, so if we implement in a daily life, all this structure the way they taught us, believe me, you're going to see a lot of shifting in your realities. A lot of abundance coming in your realities, because through that realities, through your behavior like that by giving, you're going to tune in a timeline for abundance. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, thank you.
It's a contact, by the way. You have a telepathic contact, each and single one of you, with your galactic family. Even, let me get it a little bit more complex right now. Just pay close attention to what I'm going to say because I'm getting it. Even the people that are going to watch this webinar on YouTube or on Facebook, it doesn't matter that you're connecting directly with them right now. The people that will connect, for example, tomorrow or the next day or 2 years from now, when they watch this webinar, they're also going to connect at that particular time to their galactic family, because every thought and every word that we're projecting right now is a specific sequence, and that will open up their consciousnesses to that level of understanding. We're planting the seed. And how much they're going to learn and what depth they need to get into, it's all up to them. So see how every reality doesn't matter. That information right now, it's in another parallel reality that they're going to perceive in their timeline, whatever they need to. Even we talk about 2 years from now. 2 years from now is right now, because that information they're going to perceive in the momentum of the now. See how now we understand how we don't have to think 2 years from now, everything is at the moment. The way every single one of us right now are in completely different location, but we have one unity consciousness at this moment and we're all interacting with each other. Well, how is that possible? It's possible because there's no time. And that's how we connect with them through the timelines, when we simply match the resonant frequency of our thoughts, emotions, and image and take an action. And when we do that more and more and we open up, that's how eventually you're going to have a physical contact. So let me put it this way, they wanted to mention that everybody will have their physical contact depending on our agreements individually. I may have it tomorrow, I may have it 2 seconds, I may have it 2 years from now. You know, and you can have it way before me. Even here I am talking all about this stuff, but you had it before me. I'm not going to say, I can't believe this. Yeah, a couple of times, to be honest. I was like, how come this person is here? How come I don't? But there was another connection. Remember when I was talking about they connecting to another person and the person is channeling the ET, but they're not aware? Let me put it this way. Do not be alarmed of that, because through that person's higher consciousness, that person gave her permission to the extraterrestrial or the higher consciousness to tune in with them so they can talk to you. And you're talking to completely extraterrestrial consciousness through that person, but the person is not aware what they told you. That is not taking over consciousness and, oh my God, they're taking us over. There is situations like that, but that is from the negative side. When they penetrate consciousness and taking over the body of somebody so they can control, the way certain groups was done in humanity, this was done without the permission of higher consciousness, of God consciousness. Once you do something like this, you're penetrating structures that you have no permission, and then you're going to have to go through realities to learn that this is not appropriate. You're going to have experiences to teach you that is not appropriate to do that without a permission. So you have to look at both sides here. Don't be alarmed that somebody is talking to you this way, because this way you holding the vibration of that ET or that higher consciousness, the way, for example, all of you right now are holding the vibration of the 11-dimensional beings and the Council of Nine. I'm talking telepathically, they're connecting the sequences with me, and that's how I get the images, that's how I talk. So not only that you're talking to me, but you're talking to them. So don't be alarmed that somebody literally penetrated my consciousness, but I'm completely aware. Some people are not aware that they do that. But that is done with permission from my higher self, so I can do all that. And that is the same with everybody, because for you to tune in into this resonance, first of all, don't think that I'm more than you. Again, I'm saying I'm just ahead of the class, because all of you, all of us can do this. I'm just simply showing how it's done. But I stay with that moment every day. I go with my passion. I help everybody with that expectations. It's not easy. It's very challenging, because I also have a family. But I stick with it, no matter how challenging it is. Because at the moment you left the monetary thought, and it's the joy of just giving. If you stay in that joy of just giving, sometimes I've been in tears because of me just giving. If you learn to penetrate that joy of you giving to another being that is expression out of your consciousness in your hologram, you will reach tremendous potential. And then you're going to reach the higher consciousnesses that will start teaching you. And you don't need a vessel like me. And one thing I want to mention, when you hold that image, your thoughts and your emotion, put it at the same time and hold it. I want you to feel the emotion of joy. The way I said it, what are you going to do if they really in front of you, you're going to be so excited. So put the image, see how they look, and have that excitement at the same time. And then ask the question. When you ask the question, the answer will come literally before you even start thinking, because your three-dimensional brain immediately is going to start kind of questioning. Let it go. Do not question. Just have it flow and see what the answer is. It's very thin silver lining. You're going to learn to do that. But what's going to happen more and more and more you do that, more and more you will understand that the answers were always there. But remember when they were talking, you were blocking it because you were doubting? This is exactly what we've been doing the whole time. Because the whole time they were telling me, Marina, you don't need to automatically write anymore. You can hear us telepathically. And I was afraid and I was doubting until somebody put me in a spot to do it. And I said, oh, I'm going to be hiding if I say something silly. But everything they asked me, immediately thought was there. And I didn't know how crazy that sounded. I said, you know what? I don't care what I hear. I'm just going to say it. And I ended up saying it. And everything ended up being true. So I've learned to trust myself, but they guided me through the process. So my job today is to guide you through the process so we can learn together how to do that. You don't need a system. You don't need something to connect you. You are the pure vessel of that knowledge. You're the vessel. Okay? Any questions, guys?
I have one more question.
Yeah, okay.
If a person can not able to imagine or have an image on its own, can it look at a picture, for example?
Oh, they said to me now, how about you paint that picture?
Paint the picture, okay.
The reason why they said that is because they're saying, because you're going to tune in now into the frequencies and you're going to stay a little bit longer and you're going to crystallize it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So that picture will hold a vibratory sequence of that reality. Okay?
Yes.
So make sure when you do that, even while you're painting, let your emotion be with complete joy and love and understanding toward that image and how excited you are to perceive that in your image. Because again, you cannot perceive something if you don't know the vibration already. You have to know the vibration first in order to have that image in your structure. So that means this reality exists and you end up extracting it out of the quantum library. That's what you did.
Okay, just
Ever. That is the quantum bylaw that they taught me. It's fundamental.
great.
I'm going to keep repeating because it's complex, but we're going to keep repeating so it crystallizes. Makes sense, right?
Yes, I actually asked that question 2 days ago and you came through now.
Thank you. Good. Any other questions, guys?
Marina, I'm going to change recordings now. I'm going to stop and restart.